Hey guys, I know I've been meaning to get a video completed on how to install the power folding mirrors, um, but unfortunately that's just not going to happen because my mirrors are already installed, and the footage that I took during the installation of the mirrors is all garbage. It's too dark. And I don't have the video editing skills at this point in time to make it any better. So I'm going to just cover the key points, the differences, the interesting stuff, if you will, about installing the mirrors. The first thing you're going to need to know is that this is where your mirror bolts are, right here. Okay, there's 3 of them, and to get to this, there's this little black cap. All you do is it sits like there, like that, and you just pull back on it straight away, and it does that. The next thing, there is a little sponge here. Sits like this in there. Just reach your finger down, apply it, and pull it back out like that, and it's out. And then you'll see your mirror connector. Okay, now my mirror connector has already been modified, but I don't modify the one in the door. I only modify the one on the mirror. So there's my harness right there that I made. It's got the turn signals and the power folding function inside it, because I already have heated mirrors, but there'd be 2 extra wires. Now Hyundai on the power folding section only used 22 gauge wire. Okay, so that's all you have to use. I, using some maths, came up with a different number, and therefore I used 18 gauge wire, which is a little bulky for this particular project, and not really all that needed. The next thing you're going to need to cover is you should always know how to take your fuse panel door off on your driver's side. But you'll notice that I have an add a fuse in there, or a fuse tab, and I tapped into, what did I tap into here? I tapped into the front power outlet. Okay, that's the one in the little cubby. Okay, the reason I did that is because I don't use that one, so I don't actually have that outlet anymore. I took it out so I could put my gauges in that spot. To get the wire from the cabin of the vehicle to the door, I'm trying to think of the best way to show you guys this. Here we go. Is you'll notice right in there that there is a grommet, and through that grommet I put my wire sleeve, and I just did that by cutting a small hole in the grommet itself. Then on the door harness grommet, you'll see, maybe you won't, you'll see that I made a small incision on the inside facing bottom of that, and it could always be filled in with some caulking or whatever else, or some sealant. That is the easiest way to do it. The long and cumbersome way to do it, and could cause a lot of factory warranty issues, is you actually unplug that connector there, which is simple. You peel back the boot and it will expose the connector, and then you crimp the 2 sides and release. It is kind of a real big pain in the ass to do when the door is attached to the vehicle, though, just a heads up. So I opted for this route because then I'm not cutting any holes in my frame. I'm using one that is already there, and my wire loom protects my my wires, and the grommets protect them from the frame. Now that grommet comes out, well, you'll have to remove this panel actually to get at it, which, to remove this hood release, is you just close all 4 of the little prongs on there and then pull it off. And to get this panel here off, you have to remove your kick plate here, which is you grab there and yank up and it pulls away. And then you just grab the top and you pull it away from the car body, and it all just comes off. And then you'll see the grommet that I'm talking about, which I don't think can be readily seen right now. No. Well, you get a rough idea because you can kind of see the whole the wire there. Okay. And that runs over there behind the pedal assemblies, that way they don't get cut. Over top of that wire grommet there, and back behind this panel. Behind my center stack, which currently is occupying my prototype gauge pod, behind the center stack I have my relay. I have the positive wire from, or the accessory wire from the fuse tap, and I have the I use a ground location behind there, which is just ground to the chassis, and I have a dedicated battery line, 12-volt line from the battery coming into the car, because it also feeds my gauges, as well as feeding the constant power for the power folding mirror function. On the passenger side, it's the exact same thing, except the routing, you're going around the air conditioning, or the blower motor assembly, but otherwise it's the exact same on the other side. I have routed or installed a switch, and the switch has is stolen from a computer case, so it has a nice metal finish on it, and all it does is it interrupts the signal telling the mirrors to open, so I can push that and keep them closed. At this point in time, that's not wired yet to close them while the vehicle's moving. It will only close them when the vehicle gets shut off, and then not let them open when the vehicle turns back on. I will, of course, be correcting that, which, as Jay pointed out on the forum, you require a relay to do. So, when I get around to it, I'll do another relay. The wiring itself, I have all the schematics on the website, and I will include one at the end of this video just for those curious. But that is the bulk of the basic of how to do it. It requires taking a lot of panels off, and you have to take your door panel off. I already have a video up on YouTube about how to do that, and that's it. That's basically the gist of it. It's mostly just the amount of time it takes to run the wire, hook up all of your leads, and I can't do that. Take all the body panels off and then put them back on. Otherwise, it's fairly straightforward. To undo these mirror bolts, it's a 10 mil, and they go back on with, if I remember correctly, 22 foot-pounds. Yeah, 22 foot-pounds, I think, is what those bolts go back onto. But I retorqued them up the way Hyundai said to, and I got that information off of the HMA website. And by torquing them to what Hyundai said to torque them to, I used to have a water leak issue where I'd get a little bit of water seepage through the mirror housing, and that's completely cleared up now. So that's the gist of it. If you guys have any questions or comments, this will be on the forums. Just leave me a post, or don't really bother making a comment in the comments on YouTube, because I never check them, because I don't. So there, that's basically it. Everything gets routed to the center stack, and behind the center stack is where I put the relay, and then that's it.